Hi, I'm Kyle.
I'm Justin.
And so we did our unit plan on the American Revolution. So now I will screen share.
So for our unit plan, we are covering the American Revolution. It's for fifth grade and it will be 10 days long. Our goal one is that students will identify specific events and acts that created tension that led to the colonies revolting. And goal two, students will be able to articulate the origins of the Declaration of Independence and those who had a role in its signing. Our Common Core standards are right here. Technology standards and our MIs.
So for our unit plan, one of the things with social studies is it can be very boring. So a lot of our unit plan goes into projects. So for example, our first week, it's students will come in and they'll have a loom that they watch at home, which kind of gives an overview of the American Revolution. So when they come to class, they'll kind of start off the unit by going over some of the more basic stuff just to get into an overview. For virtual students, for most of our days, it's pretty much the same thing, but an online setting. So they'd be using Zoom or Google Meets for them, while face to face, they would be like talking with a partner. That's kind of the gist of most of our days. So day two is our first project. So during this day, we'll be talking about the Townshend Act and the Stamp Act. And so it leads into our first project, which is the Be Heard project. So this project is where four students will be grouped up and they'll make a propaganda poster. So this project is trying to convey what students might have seen during this time period with the colonists. So they're trying to replicate kind of some of the messaging they'd see during that time period. So for online learners, they can use Canva. And for people face to face, they have the option of using a physical poster or going through Canva. Day three is they're going to be going over the Declaration of Independence. So this is where we're going to be going into the beliefs of what was put into the Declaration of Independence, including their view of people's rights, political beliefs, and religious beliefs. So in this one, we'll be using Blooket. So after we get done going over a PowerPoint, students will be able to use Blooket to have a more engaging and fun way of learning and kind of going over what they learned in class. And we'll also be doing a think, pair, share, where students will be talking about why they think the Declaration of Independence was important and some of the things that were put into it. And then for this one, our virtual learners would do this in breakout rooms while people face to face would be doing it in the classroom. Day four is another project, but before that, we're going to be going over music. So we're going to be covering Yankee Doodle and Free America. I didn't know, but Yankee Doodle actually is a song that was made to mock the colonists, but the colonists liked it so much they kind of used it in their own manner. So this is where students are kind of going to be more inclined to think musically. So this goes into the project Words to the People, where students will be able to make a poem or a song in which they're trying to either build up the anger leading to the revolution or trying to calm people down. So for Zoom and Google Meet, they'd be doing this in breakout rooms, and face to face would be doing it together, but they'll be doing it in Canva. For week five, they're going to be going over the key people in the American Revolution. So George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and John Adams. They'll be using a Quizlet for this one. So learning about the key figures is kind of hard for students. So we'll be allowing them to use Quizlet to kind of help them memorize and remember each individual. For this one, again, for online learners, they'll be doing it in Google Meet, in which they'll be able to work with a partner doing their Quizlet, and face to face, they can do the same. Week six is going to be our, which one is this one? I know this is a project. this is a letter of home project. So in this one, students will be learning about the common life of colonists during this time period. So they're going to be learning about the Boston Tea Party, the hardships that they face with taxes. So this project's based upon students being able to articulate some things that they may have seen if they were there during that time period, and kind of what they'd write home about. And they can be talking about um, the Stamp Act, Townshend Act, Boston Tea Party, people like George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, what they're saying, what they believe about the Declaration of Independence, and all of those things. So we're trying to kind of gauge what they can think of in sending it home. So for virtual people, they will be going into breakout rooms in which they'll kind of discuss beforehand what they think they'd put into it. And face to face, they'd be actually talking to people in groups. Day 7 is where we get some of the battles. So this is where I actually have a video that they'd watch in which it discussed a lot of the big battles that kind of help decide the fate of the revolution. They'll be doing this at home. So it's something we will send to them. And then they will come into class, and then we will be discussing kind of how these battles affected everything. And then they'll use quizzes to help them remember kind of the importance of each thing. This one's gonna be the same thing as Quizlet. So they'll be able to work with a partner. For virtual, to go into breakout rooms, and for in-person, they'd be talking to someone. Um, Day 8 is our artifact day. So for this day, students are going to be discovering artifacts that are part of the revolution. So, for example, I have the Sons of Liberty Bowl, the painting of the crossing of the Delaware from the storybook of Patrick Henry. These are all found in Google Culture and Art. They're going to be able to use that source to find some artifact. What they'll do first is that they will kind of come up with what they think its importance is, and then they'll actually do their own research into it. And they will be making a presentation on Canva, which they will show for the class. So for virtual, breakout rooms for this, and for online, they'll be doing it in person. For week 9, we will be discussing the big takeaways from the winning of the colonist independence. So we'll be talking about kind of the things that came from it, how colonists saw it, how it led into other things like the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. This one's kind of our closer before we do our day 10. So this is going to be their test, if you can say. So we're doing a Kahoot for it though. So it's more fun for them. So we'll be engaging in a discussion of the class before we take our Kahoot. And then we'll take a Kahoot, which will go over kind of what happened. Students will try to answer questions of like, what's the importance of everything? And they'll be ready for day 10, which is going to be our Socratic seminar. So for this one, we're going to have a quick refresher before we go into our Socratic seminar, so they can use Quizlet or quizzes. They'll be notified the day prior for our colonist view of the revolution, because people will be split up into 2 groups. It will be people who were in favor of the revolution and colonists who were not in favor of the revolution. So they'll be able to kind of learn about ideas that they'll come up with beforehand, so that when they're in class, they can discuss it. So when we do this, it will be 10 people for each side at a time. They'll be engaging in a respectful seminar in which people will be listening to each other's sides. And that's our 10 days. These are just kind of images that I put in connection with our stuff. And I think that is our unit plan. Thanks.
Thank you.